Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. What does Deutsche Bank, a major financial institution in Germany, have to say about XRP? Furthermore, what Ripple difficulties does XSPDC TRA have? Lastly, would the holders of XRP receive extra money from the SEC fund and the civil lawsuit if Ripple loses? Focus closely on today's video because we'll be discussing XRP's prospects, which you won't want to miss. If you're new here, you can enter the contest simply by subscribing to the channel and enabling post alerts by clicking the bell. Keep in mind that I am not offering financial guidance in this video. Ripple. Major financial institutions have recognized a pioneering firm that is leveraging blockchain technology to shake up the cross-border payment market. Deutsche Bank, based in Germany but operating on a global scale, is one such institution. Alpha Lines Academy CEO Edward Farina recently brought notice to a unique study from Deutsche Bank that was published in July 2018 but covers the previous 5 years. This study elucidates how Ripple has planned to make cross-border payments using XRP. Using Ripple as an example, it demonstrates how blockchain technology has tremendous potential to alter the status quo of international payment systems. Ripple's flagship product, RippleNet, consisted of 3 parts at the time: XCurrent, Scrap ID, and X. The Deutsche Bank report emphasizes the importance of XCurrent in improving payment information and processing, and Scrap's ability to provide liquidity for international transactions by using XRP as a bridge currency. The paper highlights Ripple's exceptional achievement in bringing over 100 financial institutions to its RippleNet network, including the well-known Swedish bank EB, which used RippleNet's capabilities to enable more than $1 billion in payments between Sweden and the US. Meanwhile, Current streamlines payment processing with the help of XQuick, which makes use of XRP to provide instantaneous liquidity provision, as highlighted in the study. US-based non-bank financial institution Qualtrics uses Trashit to effectively transfer funds to Mexico. This innovative method involves exchanging US dollars for XRP, which can then be changed into Mexican pesos instantly, drastically lowering the time and expense of sending money internationally. Shortly after, the XRP community brought to light a related piece from the US Faster Payment Council, which also highlighted Ripple's innovative cross-border payment solutions. The Deutsche Bank report gained widespread notice. Especially in areas where correspondent banks have withdrawn their support, the analysis from Deutsche Bank highlights the enormous potential of blockchain technology to bridge gaps in cross-border payment services. It does, however, recognize the difficulties that must be overcome before widespread adoption can occur. These difficulties include, among other things, the need to establish industry-wide governance norms and guidelines and worries about scalability. To determine the entire scope of distributed ledger technology's application in cross-border payments, more research and extension of proof-of-concept projects are necessary. Even more unexpectedly, the realistic metaverse and NFT project on the XRP ledger, XSPECTAR, is considering quitting the ecosystem because it isn't getting enough support from Ripple. Mr. Intuitive, a prominent member of the XRP community, made headlines when he took to Twitter to express his shock over XSPECTAR's possible exit from the XRPL. He was curious as to whether or not others felt the same way. Mr. Intuitive has also asked for the input of XSPDC TER team member Bob Wade by tagging him in a post. The post was accompanied with a tape of a debate from Dirk's Twitter area, in which he fired Ben, creator of XSPECTAR, expressed disappointment at Ripple's lack of interest in his startup. Shepins voiced his displeasure with the discussions focus on lesser-known members of the XRP ecosystem and their apparent lack of support. He was disappointed that despite the fact that XSPEC Homosexual had put in a lot of work and assembled a huge team, it had not received the backing it needed. Shepin said he didn't like how Ripple supported what he considered to be pointless endeavors. Instead of backing the people who are already hard at work creating valuable businesses on XRPL. He confirmed the firm's intention to join forces with external chains but indicated aversion to departing from the XRPL. However, he did mention that other retailers and VC firms had actively courted XSPCTR's participation by offering large financial incentives. If things didn't turn around, the XSPCTA or founder threatened to leak internal communications. A member of the XSPECTR team, Bob Way, claimed that Ripple was uninterested in helping out with the XRPL project. Way disclosed that XSPECTR had been unsuccessful in its several applications to the XRPL grant and accelerator programs. Nonetheless, they underlined that the XRPL provided a good basis for XSPCTR's metaverse and confirmed the team's commitment to working on the XRPL. There was an immediate outpouring of commentary on the news from prominent figures in the relevant fields. A crypto lawyer has stepped in, saying that Ripple has long had a problem with its lack of community support, and he has attacked the projects that Ripple has chosen to back for the wrong reasons. Bill Morgan, an attorney who advocates for XRP, recently voiced his concern that the XSPCTR would leave the XRPL. Morgan thought it was a huge misstep for XSPECTAR to do that, so he pushed for Ripple to give the project the proper recognition and funding it deserved. Now we get to today's burning question. What happens to the SEC fund and the civil lawsuit if Ripple loses? Will XRP holders get more money? The consequences of the legal complaint against Ripple Labs have been further explained by attorney and managing partner of the Deaton law firm, John Deaton. Remember that a U.S. district judge approved a class action lawsuit against Ripple in a case based in the U.S. and XRP? The ability to file a claim against Ripple for selling unregistered securities. On Thursday, XRP enthusiast asked attorney Deaton a critical question about both lawsuits, and the news has continued to elicit emotions from members of the XRP community who are concerned about the impact of the SEC versus Ripple case on the civil complaint against the business. Deaton responded by elaborating on how long it would take for XRP holders to see any payouts in the event of a loss in the SEC case. He emphasized that only if Ripple loses on appeal against the SEC would the subject of whether XRP holders will receive compensation via the civil litigation. In addition, attorney Deaton emphasized what will likely happen with the SEC case if Ripple loses. If the leading blockchain startup, Deaton claims it would challenge the SEC's decision. Deaton also predicted that the status quo would persist for another 2.5 years if there were any Ripple appeals. He mused that Ripple might appeal the SEC's decision all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. According to Deaton Ripa, she will win her case against the SEC in the Supreme Court 5-0 if Congress stays out of it. In the meantime, let's assume that Ripple ultimately loses both the SEC and civil cases on appeal. Deaton stated that the regulatory agency, and not the civil plaintiff, would be responsible for collecting the funds. The sum that Ripple allegedly raised through XRP sales is $1.03 billion, which would be collected by the SEC. In order to weaken the civil lawsuit, the SEC, upon receiving the funds, will set up a fund to reimburse XRP holders as recovery. If I were representing the plaintiff in the civil case, I would hope that the SEC would lose because if they did, they would be awarded the damages that were originally determined by Deaton in the civil case. Moreover, according to Deaton, XRP investors will gain more from the SEC party if there is recovery than from compensation in the civil case. Deaton estimates that the attorneys handling civil matters will receive between 25% and 35% of the money set aside for legal fees. Deaton said the attorneys would take their cut and then subtract the cost of the case from the XRP fund before distributing the remainder to the holders of the cryptocurrency. Okay, that's it for today, gents. Do you have any opinions on XRP? Participate and share your thoughts in the discussion thread. If you enjoyed this video, please show your approval by giving it a big thumbs up. Also, if you want to be notified the next time we release a video covering the latest XRP and cryptocurrency news, make sure to hit the subscribe button and enable notifications below the video. In the meantime, check out our other XRP and cryptocurrency-related videos. We appreciate your time and attention and hope to have you back for our future video. Goodbye.